A new day and a new report. Hello, the Pioneer viewers. As the Pioneer team, we continue to bring you the developments regarding the Russia-Ukraine war. In a moment, we will report developments on the last day of the war with a map. Let us state the following immediately. The successes of the Ukrainian army on the Kherson front line are scaring Russia badly. We've seen many panic messages about the Kherson front line in the Russian sources. The Zaporizhia front line is also active. Ukrainian troops continue to break through Russian positions. The chaotic situation in the region is becoming more chaotic for the Russian army every day. However, a similar situation is also valid for the Ukrainian forces on the Donetsk front line. As we have mentioned in our previous reports, the Ukrainian defense line on the Donetsk front line is strong but not infinite. It needs support. So what is the latest situation on the front line? Let's take a look at the developments together. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so as not to miss the daily map reports and agenda reports prepared by the Pioneer team. You can also support me and my team by using the super thanks button below the video. This support is very valuable to us. Thank you all. Let's start if you are ready. The Pioneer reports. Let's start by analyzing the latest developments on the Kherson front line. First, let's see the Kherson front line on the map. As you know, the Ukrainian army has a presence here on the east bank of the Dnieper River. This, of course, is a big threat for the Russian army. The adventure of the Ukrainian army here began with the Antoniivka Bridge. Currently, Ukrainian troops have expanded their dominance north and south of Antoniivka Bridge. The defense capacity of the Russian troops is decreasing day by day. There is a situation here that we constantly express. The Kherson front line is the gateway to the Crimean Peninsula. Therefore, the fact that the Ukrainian army has crossed to the east bank of the Dnieper River means that the gate has been opened. In other words, the new door to the Crimean Peninsula is now open. The question is, will the Ukrainian armed forces be able to enter through the gate of the Crimean Peninsula? Russian sources also asking this question because the Russian defense forces in the region are currently not capable of repelling further Ukrainian attacks. The Ukrainian armed forces are carrying out really powerful offensive accompanied by the artillery support. It is possible to say that these attacks are even more violent than the summer offensive. The panic in the Russian sources also confirms this theory. According to the latest reports from the region and local sources, the Ukrainian armed forces attacked near Poima and Pechenivka with artillery support. There is a similar situation in Krinky. Russian forces are finding it very difficult to repel these attacks. The most important reason for this is that the Russian defense forces in the region do not have the sufficient firepower support. On the other hand, Russian forces are carrying out hit-and-run attacks to repel Ukrainian troops on the east bank of the Dnieper River. Similar to the warning we made to the Ukrainian army about the Bakhmut front line, we need to do the same for the Russian army here. If the Russian army wants to evacuate Ukrainian positions on the eastern bank of the Dnieper River, hit-and-run attacks are not enough for this. We can say that this is in the coming days, the Ukrainian armed forces will be able to gain more control over the Kherson front line, despite all the warnings and requests. From Russian sources, the Russian war leadership still does not respond to the requests for support. The attack of the Ukrainian army do not stop. Therefore, radical border changes may occur on the Kherson front line at any time. Now let's continue by analyzing the latest developments on the Zaporizhia front line. We have already mentioned in our previous reports the verb of direction is very important in this region. Ukrainian troops want to open a new page on the Zaporizhia front line by capturing Verbov. Most of the Ukrainian armored vehicles are carrying out heavy attacks in the direction of Verbov. The latest reports from the region show heavy losses in the Russian defense. Here, if the Ukrainian troops capture the Verbov direction, they will have the opportunity to move behind the Russian defense line. This means the emergence of the major threat to the Russian army. In addition, the advance of the Ukrainian troops here means that one of the most important crossroads will come under the control of the Ukrainian army. Our sources in the region tell us that the advances of the Ukrainian army will take place in a short period of time. However, we do not see this possibility so strong. In our opinion, there is still some time for this advance to take place. We see that the Ukrainian army also launched an offensive in the Rivne and Novoprokopivka after intensive artillery shelling. According to the latest reports, Ukrainian troops have made some progress in the Rivne direction. In addition, Ukrainian troops took back positions along the N-08 motorway in the direction of Novofedoryovka from the Russian army. The mobility in this area creates a risky situation for the Russian army. However, Ukrainian troops need to continue their offensive here with the same stability. In other words, the Ukrainian army should never give control to the Russian army. If the control and initiative passes into the hands of the Russian army, the situation in the region will turn against the Ukrainian armed forces. However, we believe that this is premature to talk about this possibility at the moment. Let's continue with the latest developments on the Donetsk front line. According to the latest reports, the Russian army, with the support of long-range weapons, carried out offensive operations near Marinka, Nevolskoy, Permovskoy, Severnoye, and from Yasinokavka Fork from Avdiivka. Unfortunately, in the Russian offensive near Avdiivka, the Russian army achieved critical successes. On the other hand, the Ukrainian army continues to defend, and on the other hand, it is conducting offensive preparations. According to the latest reports, the Ukrainian armed forces carried out counteroffensive operations near the Avdiivka cooking plant and near Stepnoe. We see that the Ukrainian army have recaptured several positions, especially near the railway. The fighting in the area is quite fierce. The presence of the Ukrainian artillery units in the area and their attacks are very important. If Ukrainian artillery units carry out similar attacks at all points of the front line, we can talk about the situation in the region turning in favor of Ukraine. Let us continue by analyzing the developments on the Bakhmut front line. As you know, the Ukrainian army has a superiority in the south of Bakhmut city center. The Russian army is still attacking to seize this opportunity. According to the latest reports, Russian troops carried out attacks in the direction of Klishchivka. The Ukrainian army is largely maintaining its defensive positions. According to some allegations, the village of Klishchivka has been evacuated. However, we have not yet been able to confirm these allegations. The Ukrainian army needs to further strengthen its masses and fortifications on the Bakhmut front line. Otherwise, all the successes achieved so far will disappear. It is a difficult prospect at the moment. However, there is still a possibility that Russian forces will advance around Bakhmut. What do you think? Do you think the advances of the Ukrainian army on the Kherson front line will continue? What do you think about the panic in the Russian sources? Which side do you think the situation on the Bakhmut front line will be shaped in favor of? Let me know in the comments. I read and care about all your comments.